Mount Whitney, as everyone knows, or a lot of people of us know about it already, is the highest peak in the contiguous United States in the Sierra Nevada. It has an elevation of 14,500 feet, which is about 4,200 meters. It's in the east central California. A lot of people have attempted to hike and successfully reach the peak, either during like a day hike, which is about 22 miles. Actually, it's really high, and about 6,000 feet elevation or so. That's about 6,000 feet elevation. And some people do an overnight camping to acclimate themselves as well. So, but either way, you still have to get a permit if you want to go through the Mount Whitney Trail to reach the peak. This is where you go at the corner of the Lone Pine. This is the wilderness office where you pick up your permit to go up the Mount Whitney Trail. Since I only have a limited time, I was planning to just take my time and hike up there and bring my camping gear just in case I decide to stay overnight. This is Lone Pine, where your starting point for Mount Whitney. So a lot of restaurants and motels and hotels here. They also have like outdoor gears as well if you need any last minute stuff to buy. It's a good morning restaurant here. It's called Totem Restaurant. We're having some omelet breakfast prior to hiking up. This is the direct route to Mount Whitney, and as you could see, I almost got hit there. It's nice to have a GoPro, at least show an evidence. Mount Whitney summit is on the Sierra Crest and the Great Basin Divide. It's close to many of the Sierra Nevada's highest peaks. The peak kind of goes up very slowly above the valley, and it's sitting at 10,778 feet, which is about 3,285 meters, or just over 2 miles, which is 3.2 kilometers above the town of Lone Pine, which is 15 miles or 24 kilometers to the east. And that's where we're coming from. The west side, lying only about 3,000 feet, which is 914 meters above the John Muir Trail at Guitar Lake. So a lot of people do start their hike from that area, which is the John Muir Wilderness. The mountain is, it looks like partially dome-shaped with jagged ridges, and it's actually above the tree line. And it has great climate. Well, it gets really cold up there, so if you want to hike up there, you need to bring appropriate gear with you. The mountain is the highest point on the Great Basin Divide, and the waterways on the west side flow into Whitney Creek, which flows into the Kern River. And then the river kind of just ends at Bakersfield, which is south in the Tulare Basin. It's in the San Joaquin Valley. And from the east, the water from Mount Whitney flows to Lone Pine Creek, where a lot of the water is diverted into the LA Aqueduct or the Los Angeles Aqueduct. And some water in the creek also continues to be a natural course joining the Owens River, and then it ends at Owens Lake, which is a lake of the Great Basin. So apparently over time, the peak used to be measured at 14,494 feet, which is 4,418 meters, and now when it was apparently remeasured in apparently 1988, it's now estimated as 14,505 feet, which is about 4,421 meters. I'd like to tell you that the Mount Whitney, the granite that forms Mount Whitney, is part of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's really awesome to see, and it's awesome when you go up there. So there are a couple of popular trails. The one that you need a permit is the Mount Whitney Trail, which we're gonna go, which is much direct to Mount Whitney. I didn't go all the way up because I started later and I wanted to take my time, and I've been about motorcycling for about a week now, and the goal of this trip was to go to the California National Parks, and because it's just a beautiful place to go to and hike to, I decided to hike this for a day and a half. There is also and the hike is about 22 miles and it's about 35 kilometers round trip, and the elevation gain is over 6,100 feet, which is actually part of my summit training. It's about 1859 meters. And then you can come also from John Muir Wilderness, where a lot of the hikers do start like a week before, and there's the other alternative, which is the Horseshoe Meadow, which will take you about 2 or 3 days to get to Mount Whitney. Starting the hike to Mount Whitney. So secured that there with a security lock. And that's the Whitney Trail head. So this is where you weigh your pack. Should be 1/5 of your weight. Time I was here, I was short of breath because I had pulmonary embolism, but I'm pretty good so far. This is your first water source right at the first water crossing. Muir Wilderness. Wow. We're continuing on. And this is the second water source. Let's see if we can get some water here. So that's where I got my water. Filter it. This log here. Here's Lone Pine Lake. This is your view from Lone Pine Lake. So this is another sign that you need a permit to enter Mount Whitney. It's the trail you take. Hikers are pretty awesome. I feel good right now, actually. Just taking my time. That's the Lone Pine Lake. Last outpost camp. This is your water source right here. Another water source right after outpost camp. That's Mirror Lake. It actually got dark pretty quickly, so it was around 9:30, and I went ahead right at the trail camp, and I went ahead and I was actually putting up my tent up there close to a trail at the trail camp. And then the next day I went ahead and I went down from trail camp since I had to go and move on my motorcycle travel to Mono Lake. This is trail camp, and that's Mount Whitney up there. Leaving Mount Whitney Motel, and they're very nice people here. It's a family-run business. It was a great hike. I wasn't able to take a video of me setting up a tent, but I did stay overnight right at trail camp because it was around 10 or 11 o'clock at night already, and it was completely dark. So the next day I went ahead and hiked down to Lone Pine, no, not Lone Pine, but Whitney Portal, sorry, and that's where I rode my motorcycle, and then went back to Lone Pine to get some rest to head to Mono Lake. So the next adventure motorcycle ride will be to Mono Lake, visiting the Tofai Reserve. Thanks for watching.